Good evening. Tonight we are going to review a non-black metal album by a non-black metal band. The name of the album is called The Age of Ads, and it is by an individual named Sufjan Stevens, or Sufjan Stevens. This album came out in 2010. My friend Sean wanted me to review it, so here we go. So I started the album. The very first song is called Futile Devices, and I liked it right away. There's nice guitar, kind of building, layers of guitar, very beautiful, kind of a dreamy kind of atmosphere, breezy vocals, kind of low key. I liked it right away. The song was kind of short. It's kind of almost like just an introduction to the album, and it kind of reminded me a little bit of Badly Drawn Boy, or maybe a B-side or something, but it was really nice, so I was eager to listen to the rest of the album and to see what it had in store. Then it happened. I entered the wormhole that is Sufjan Stevens, which is kind of a blend of ADD, schizophrenic, frenetic, drug-induced, skittering beats against this weak, frail, cracking voice, which I could barely tolerate. Even when it was auto-tuned, it was somehow auto-distuned. It was just this really frail voice. Some of the songs have kind of an occasional fluffy hook that makes you feel all warm and smurfy inside, and then we go back to more skittering, confused beats, and a very spacey overall application, which makes every song kind of just like everything's thrown in the pot. And I call this the kitchen sink method. There is a commercial that came out a while ago about the product, the Kit Kat commercial, the candy bar Kit Kat. And the commercial is somebody takes a bite of the cookie, and then another person takes a bite over here, and then somebody's drumming on a book, and somebody's beating some pots and pans or something. And it generates this song. It's really stupid. It's kind of slow building. Anybody could do that. I feel like every song is like that. He's kind of taking an element here, stitching it to this part freaks out, this part calms down, this part gets confused, blurs with this one. It's just a collage. Anybody can do a collage. It takes no artistic skill whatsoever. Sooner you listen to it, it becomes overwhelming, this method. There's a song called Too Much, and yeah, it's too much. The ending just never occurs. Things start to get real dorky. I would say even Bjorky or Flame Lippy, and much to my distress, Kid A.E. There's a song called Now That I'm Older, and I'll be Ian Brown's uncle if this is not Pyramid Song as sung by the Unicorns. That's how bad the obvious the influences are here. It reminds me, again, another pop culture reference of the Seinfeld episode where Kramer and Elaine, they find their bizarro versions of themselves, and George wants to join them, and they're like, sorry, we already have a George. That's how Sufjan Stevens is. We already have a Beck. We already have a Radiohead. We already have an ELO. We already have Flaming Lips or Bjork. We don't need that regurgitating. You're not fooling anybody. It's goofy. It's silly. He's a charlatan. It's weird. And anything that's goofy and weird and has zero redeeming value, what do you call that? Genius. That's what everybody's calling this guy, a genius. This is basically music created for Twitter feed attention spans, ADD. It's the golden age of the Glee type. Everything's packaged, and in fact I could hear some of these songs on Glee because they kind of have this choral element that's kind of silly. So you have Glee and Twitter, the cornerstones of Western civilization. How could Sufjan Stevens go wrong? With the obvious regurgitations of his musical heroes, Sufjan Stevens is nothing more than a musical blender. And we are all slaves to our influences, but do you have to be so damn obvious about it? Score 1.